All right. On that note, bring on the next.
All right. Do you guys want the American Brown?
Yeah, American Brown.
All right.
Number 3.
Especially after that, I thought that was a little bit bigger of a beer. By the way, just not trying to influence anything. I just thought that one was a higher alcohol than I was anticipating. So you want the brown will work well before the
Category 10C.
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 Okay. Do you want to read those? Or you want me to read them for you?
Sure.
Find it. 10C.
It's on page 12.
Not a very big bottle.
Sure, I'll read them. Okay, American Brown Ale, which is number 10C in the BJCP guidelines.
It made good noises when I opened it.
Well, that's a good thing. Should be a malty, sweet, and rich aroma. Often has a chocolate, caramel, nutty, and/or toasty quality. Hop aroma is typically low to moderate. Some interpretations of the style may feature a stronger hop aroma, a citrusy American hop character, and/or a fresh dry hopped aroma, and all are optional. Fruity esters are moderate to very low. Dark malt character is more robust than other brown ales, yet stops short of being overly porter-like. Malts and hops are generally balanced, moderately low to no diacetyl. So we're expecting something slightly sweet, something balanced, not too much hop. Are you listening to the beer?
I'm divining whether it's good or not.
Oh, okay.
See, this is what's ridiculous about the BJCP judging. Okay, you don't get awarded for the subcategory; you get awarded for the category.
True.
So in this category 10, it's American Ale. Okay, there's 3 beers in this category. There's American Pale Ale, which is 10A. 10B is American Amber Ale, and 10C is American Brown Ale. They're all completely different beers, and yet they're being compared to each other when you look at it in a flight situation. All 3 of these beers could be in one flight.
Could be, but not always. It just depends on the BJCP, and it depends because if there is enough beers to make a category, or to make a category out of a subcategory, then they'll make a subcategory. But
it's different. Like the nationals are really the only ones who go by only the BJCP guidelines. Most competitions, like the Blue Bonnet, they have different categories. The Blue Bonnet's got 42 different categories.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the BJCP guidelines only have 28. So obviously they've broken up a lot of the more individual styles into their own category for this particular competition.
Sure, nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Okay, so we're looking malt, sweet aroma, rich, possibly chocolate, low hops, balanced.
This one would be bottle condition.
Mm-hmm.
I can always tell. Just ahead.
It's quite a bit ahead there, that's for sure.
I don't get much aroma at all. I get alcohol.
You smelling? I'm not getting that yet.
All I get is
alcohol.
alcohol.
A little bit of alcohol. Slight fruitiness, I think.
Yeah.
There was some in the last beer as well, in the nose, but
Alcohol?
Yeah.
All right.
What number is this, by the way?
Yeah, what number is it?
Number 3.
Entry 3 here. Yeah.
Right. And it's number 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, not entry number 3.
Entry number 3.
10C.
Right.
10C.
Category 10C. You try it yet?
Okay. Yep.
I'm not smelling chocolate, caramel, nut, or toast at all. Honestly.
I think it's alcohol.
Yeah, you're right. There is alcohol and some fruit for some reason.
Yeah. Which that may be okay, isn't it?
No,
Is it not?
no, it should be chocolate, caramel, nutty, or toasty. Possibly citrus hop.
Yeah, but I don't get any hop.
Fruity ester is moderate to low, so shouldn't be much fruit in here.
I'm trying to pick any hop up. I don't get it.
I'm pretty sure we rinsed the glass out after the last fruit. So. Not much chocolate or anything like that. So I don't know.
Are you talking about me? I can't write worth a shit.
I'm just saying this one guy can't prove shit.
Oh, I thought you said I can't write for shit. That's true though. I can't spell anymore because thanks to iPhone.
That's okay. It can't spell either.
It puts the wrong words in.
Yeah. I never use the fill in the blank.
Right.
Occasionally it turns itself
It always
on.
makes me mad when I try to say hell and it always put HE comma LL. Heel. It makes me so mad every time it does that. It will never let me say hell.
Come on, I made a good joke there. You're mad as heel?
Yeah.
Whoa! Rich, I need it. I need it.
Mad as he'll ever be.
My phone called me an asshole the other day.
We're down here. We're down here. It helps if we're on the
You
same
see
page. Yeah, when judging the beer by the same guidelines here. Our viewers at home, don't try this.
Well, people would stop giving you all these big, high gravity beers. We're on the middle of the pack, and you guys
we've
got
got-
big stuff.
Have you tasted it yet?
No, I haven't.
And some golden strong.
When a foreign
I'll give
extra
it
is
a
right, it's so good. I got some
Copper,
lion stout.
nice tan, beige head.
Just, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm rating it in quality, or this particular batch wasn't very good, but
I would be in the mood for it. I'm not always big, huge in the mood for tropical.
I've had the lion stout before, and it's fantastic. And just, I don't know, the six pack was kind of.
I don't get a whole lot of nutty or.
It's got a huge yeast element
Just
that's
getting a
okay.
slight hazelnut aftertaste.
Right.
Very slight.
Tennessee.
An initial
Good place to get
sweetness,
it, right?
No, I can get it in Kansas.
slight nut aftertaste.
No, it's just, it's odd.
Yeah,
right?
you
You
think
can't get it
something
in
from Trinidad. You
It's
would
good.
get- It's Trinidad, right?
I
Or
think
Sri
it's
Lanka.
a tasty beer.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah. It's an odd place to find something from Sri Lanka.
Taste that again, now that it's a little warmer. Taste it again.
Mm-hmm. It's a little.
You guys get pepper?
Yeah, it's a little spicy at the end.
Like phenolic?
I wouldn't say pepper.
I wouldn't say phenomenal.
It is spicy at the end though.
Mm-hmm.
Against the hops.
Or the
Could be.
alcohol.
You get hops, could be the yeast. You get pepper or something like that, and it's not added.
Well, and I see.
Could be the yeast byproduct.
I hate this one doesn't make any sense. Okay, this is supposed to be a
American brown ale.
yeah. Wait a minute. Maybe that's why I'm confused.
You still looking at the wrong guideline?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I was looking at the
Yeah,
wrong
we're still good.
See, and this is an example of what happens sometimes. What they're tasting right now is a good beer,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to decide. You know, it's obvious from looking at the faces, it's not going to win. It's probably not going to place.
Well,
And they're trying to decide why.
Why?
They,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
They know why because basic instinct tells them that this is not a bad beer, but it's not going to win.
There's
It's
something-
not great. Something's
There's,
off.
there's some flaws, but we're trying to decipher what they are.
And sometimes you have to eliminate your preconceived notions over what a beer is supposed to be because sometimes you have American brown and you're thinking this one particular beer is your American brown palate is where you get all the American brown
And
from.
this is a really
It doesn't taste.
wild.
It is.
It's a
And this
crazy
does not
style
taste
because-
anything like Moose Drool,
No,
right?
no, 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 no.
It does not.
Very true.
And Moose
Very
Drool
true.
is
It's a classic.
one far
Well, and I
they're
think
a
me
far range of that
personally,
style.
I think Moose Drool is too roasty for
And-
this style.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I mean, but it pushes the limits of roast and
Right.
chocolate. It really does. And I personally, I like it, but you almost wonder if it's misclassified now as
Right,
the way
right.
they're brewing
I
it.
don't
I mean,
think
what? But no, it's still, it's a great beer, but it pushes the style. It is.
See, no, this thing
So
is,
is that Smutty Nose Old Brown Dog Ale.
Mhm.
That is fan.
yeah, that's an
Smutty
awesome
Nose is
beer.
a great brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just think of I tell you another good one is what is it? Not Spotted Cow. What's the other one they make? The squirrel nut,
Fat Squirrel.
fat squirrel. Oh man, that's awesome beer.
I think the mouth feels a little light. I think that's
Yeah,
part
I
of our
think-
problem. It should be a bigger, more.
So where I'm hearing right now, where are you guys going to take this beer?
This is a good beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good beer.
It's a good beer.
It's not a great beer, but it's a good beer.
I would be happy to drink this.
Oh yeah, I'd drink this. If somebody served me this in a bar, I'd be happy with it. I wouldn't necessarily class it as an American brown. It doesn't have any citrus hops.
Yeah, it doesn't have any hops to it. I think they're supposed to be a little hoppier than that. You're talking 20 to 40 IBUs.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, it says, dry hop aroma are available, citrusy American hop character.
And had plenty of CO2. I just don't think the body was there.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's really thin, yeah.
It's thin, it's not hoppy enough.
And the way you guys can change that is up your mash temperatures.
Or add some dextrin to your
board. Yeah.
What he's saying is you up your mash temperatures, and some of those sugars that would normally be converted into simple sugars and turned into alcohol won't be. They'll remain in your beer. So if you're steeping your grains, especially if you're doing like a partial mash, it's more difficult if you're talking about an extract brewery, because we don't know whether this extract or whether it's full grain. Yeah, and so you get what you get with an extract, but with an all grain, if you change the temperature 10 degrees between 148 and 158,
it's like 2.
You're right. Every 2 or 3 degrees is amazing. So, but if you change that temperature, if you're looking for 158 and you only get 152, you're going to have a much, much, much lighter mouthfeel beer than what you're anticipating. And the options at that point are to dilute your mash and increase, add another gallon of boil water.
Well, there are no options, because what happens is if you go up just even 5 degrees, you start denaturing those enzymes, and once they're dead, they're dead. You can't do anything. What you can do though is you can add half a pound of sugar back into it. Add half a pound of sugar, because there's enough enzymes in there to continue breaking down those. The enzymes will work and work and work. They don't stop working.
That's why you do a mash out.
They just denature. They'll die, but they're not like yeast where they go and then they fade away, they go and fade away. The enzymes are like little machines, but if they break, they're broken.
Right.
And so you can always fix it, but...
if you take a mash that's at 148 and you have another gallon of water that's boiling and you dump that water on within 10 to 15 minutes and...
Oh, it's not going to denature that quickly.
Right. You're going to stop a lot of those alpha enzymes that are going. So you are going to have a less bodied beer than what you're anticipating, but you will be able to increase the beta, decrease the alpha, and adjust it, make it a little bit more. Yeah. Target mash temperature is huge.
Well, also you can
target mash temperature is amazing.
To like I said, dextrin or carapils.
And that's a totally add a different type of malt into it.
Or lactose. Oh.
That's a whole different ball of wax there.
Yeah, and you can add dextrose. You can add maltodextrose straight into the boil, just powder.
Yeah.
It's already converted for you to where it needs to be, where it won't be fermented.
And you're talking about adding basically something that all it does is add body to the beer. It's not really there to add sugars that can be fermented out, or very little sugars that can be fermented out.
It's like, think of a starch molecule as like a train. And each car is a maltose, which is like 2 pieces of sugar connected with the piece. And each one of those is a fermentable piece. But if you have 2 cars, or 2 or 3 cars, it won't ferment.
Right.
And that's what
you're talking about chains of molecules. You got your simple sugars, and the best way to put it is simple sugars, complex sugars. And the more complex sugars you have, the more body you're going to have. The less complex sugars, the less body.
Don't confuse complex sugars with being like something that's just not fermentable but still sweet. They're not sweet.
No.
There's like
and some of them are. Some combinations.
That's
when you get the fruity pebbles. That I always consider fruity pebbles. When you have unfermented simple sugars.
Yeah.
That's where the sugary and sweet stuff is. The complex sugars are not so sweet.
No. You ever taste malted? It just tastes like.
Well, if you taste lactose, it doesn't taste sweet at all. Actually.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It can be a bit sour tasting.
All right.
Even though it's a sugar.
All right. So where did we end up?
Still working.
Adding it up over here. Jay, you ended up with a
I gave it a 29.
Okay.
It's not a bad beer, but just not quite the style again.
Okay.
Yeah, so I gave it a 31. I gave it a little higher.
So this
than
one
that.
hits
I like,
30.
I like this beer. Well, it's one of those beers that you get to a point where it's like, yeah, it's a good beer. It's good, clean beer, but it's just not. It doesn't knock your socks off. You're like, wow, this is a.
Not what we're
And
looking
these
for.
scores may sound a little low, but if you said Richard is going to put up one of these sheets.
Yes. Yeah, he'll put up a sheet, or I'll put it up.
You look at the summary of what the scores mean. A 45 to 50 is world class example of style.
Yes.
You're talking about perfect. It's delicious. The intangibles are there. Everything is just. I mean, you have the perfect, awesome beer. You know, and then you have 38 to 44. You know, almost perfect beer, and you're talking about something where it's just. You know,
I'll just read them real
Well,
fast.
I'll just tell you this: in the Blue Bonnet, I've won medals, and I was never in the 45 category.
That's
Yeah.
extremely hard.
If you ever get a beer that somebody judges back between a 45 and a 50, then you have the best beer they've ever tasted in their life. I mean, nobody judges above a 45. If you get between a 40 and a 45, you're going to win something, even if it's second or third place. Those are great beers. If you're between a 36 and a 40, that means you are a good quality beer. You hit your style. It's right on. Well done. It's just, you know, it's going to have one or two little things. Maybe the alcohol's a tiny bit high. I mean, you're talking minuscule things. Between like a 30 and a 36 means there's something taking it that's not in style, or, you know, you may be in style, but you're completely missing hops, but man, the malt's great and everything's in there, but you used a slightly wrong hop. And then, you know, like we talked about before, by the time you get into the 20s, you're missing the style, you're missing an ingredient, you're missing something from the guidelines, and you either miscategorized it, put it in the wrong category, or you have a minor flaw.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Or you're a great beer with some sort of a bacteria in it.
Yeah, or, you know,
still be
you got
drinkable.
an acid when it's not an acid, or you maybe use the wrong type of hops for that style.
Yeah.
Which could be
Use
good,
Northern
actually.
Brewer hops and a
It's
Hefeweizen or something.
Most of the time it's miscategorized, or there's just a little something off about it. It's usually a good beer. Just
Right.
something off.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, and below that, below a 20, you've got some mistakes, some major mistakes, some brewing problems. And generally, you won't see a score under 10, but occasionally, when you get a score under 10, it's because you have, I mean, it's
Major
got
problems.
a bacteria in it.